It was the dry season of 1903. The winds from the Indian Ocean drifted inland, whispering through the tall coconut trees of Kanna, a quiet coastal village in Pangani district, Tanzania. The sea was calm. The air hung heavy with salt and stories. That was the day he arrived. A man stepped ashore. His uniform was sharp, his boots foreign and too heavy for sand. He carried a single leather suitcase and the kind of silence that made children hide behind doorways. His name was Lieutenant Franz Keller, a colonial officer sent to survey the Korogwe region. But the villagers saw through the lie. He wasn't here for land, not trade, not diplomacy. He watched things too closely. The shrines carved into baobab trees, the dances during rain prayers, the quiet songs sung to the sea. His gaze lingered on the sacred, and they began to whisper, "This man is hunting power, something not meant to be touched." They were right. One day, Franz made his way to the edge of the village, where the land meets the sea cliffs. There stood the hut of Mzee Kambo, an old coastal healer, a guardian of secrets. People said Kambo protected something ancient, a mirror, so old even the ancestors called it the portal. But this was no ordinary mirror. It didn't show your reflection. It showed your end. Franz didn't knock. He forced his way in. By morning, Kambo's hut was in flames. The old man was gone, vanished. Only his sandals remained, strangely, perfectly placed, pointing toward the sea. The mirror was gone too. Franz retreated to the old German fort nearby, where he sealed himself inside. Weeks passed. No one saw him, but they heard him. Children whispered that strange symbols were being carved into the floorboards. Fishermen said they heard chanting from the fort at sunrise. No language they knew. Then he vanished. No one saw him leave. The doors were locked from the inside, and when a brave few broke in days later, they found the fort abandoned, except for the mirror. It stood in the corner, leaning against the wall. The glass was whole, but it didn't show the room. It showed a face, a woman, unknown, unmoving, her eyes wide with sorrow or maybe warning. Kambo's apprentice, fearing what he saw, took the mirror deep into the ocean reefs. He buried it beneath coral and salt, and he prayed no one would ever find it again. But curses have a way of waiting. Almost 100 years later, in the year 2000, a team of marine archaeologists began digging near the ruins of the colonial fort. They found fragments of old weapons, pottery, and then the mirror. Within a week, the team leader was found wandering outside his tent, mumbling, hands bloodied with 1,000 small cuts, tiny perfect slivers like glass. On his notebook, a single phrase was written over and over, "Not my face, not my death. She's coming." He was flown to a hospital in Nairobi. He never spoke again. To this day, the mirror has never been officially recovered. Some say it's buried once more beneath coral. Others believe it was taken, hung quietly on the wall of someone's coastal home, passed down like a family heirloom. And if you ever find yourself in Pangani, staying in an old house with no windows, and you notice a mirror that doesn't reflect your smile, leave. Because what you're seeing might not be you, but what is waiting. Thank you so much for watching and listening to this story. What did you learn? Have you ever heard of stories like this? If you'd like to continue watching and listening to more stories like this, don't forget to comment. Subscribe to this channel and also share with others so we can all enjoy together. Until we meet again in the next story, goodbye.